Hello Cineclubbers, how's it going? It is the week of Valentine's Day, and for the past couple of years, this week and this day has been marketed for the movie and series of 50 Shades of Grey. We have traded the candy hearts and the chocolates and the roses for leather straps and whips and abs. And the fans of the book and the movies seem to be okay with that change. I am someone who has said it many times in this channel in real life that I dislike the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing, and dislike is a very nice word for how I actually feel about it. I have many issues with it, but that's actually something we can discuss in another video. However, there is no denying that there are certain things about this story that has made it unbelievably successful. But why? The writing is below average. It's not the first erotic book or film to ever be created, and it's very well known that the main actors didn't really get along while filming this movie. So what is it about 50 Shades of Grey that has made it so popular and so liked? Well, there are three factors I believe has contributed it to the success of this series, and I'm going to share them with you today. The first reason I think it has been so successful is because it showcases a topic that we consider taboo and forbidden, which is BDSM, but it shows it with a touch of familiarity. Sure, they talk about Benoit balls, they talk about whips, they talk about spanking, about submissions and butt plugs, which Anastasia still doesn't know what it is. However, the BDSM aspect of 50 Shades, which really should be the center theme of the entire story, is more like the spice you've added into a very normal plate of food that you are used to eating. Once you peel off that layer of kinkiness, you find yourself with nothing more but a very common romance story. By the second book, it is mostly set aside, and there's no more talk about submission contracts, and Christian slowly gives up his dark ways to be in love with Anastasia. Is it more steamy and passionate in comparison to other movies? Sure, but the point is that they lure you in with something that is foreign and exciting, and then it slowly subsides into what we know as a usual love story, and this helps viewers and readers feel very comfortable and safe and included in the story. The second reason why I think it has been so successful is because your main character, the lead female character, is nothing but a plain Jane. Whenever you hear 50 Shades of Grey fans talking, they always talk about Christian, about how sexy and how hot he is and how he's the perfect man. Christian is the interesting partner in the story. He has a dark past, he has explored, he has sexual experience. What does Anastasia have? Her virginity and that je ne sais quoi factor that makes men in the story fall in love with her or want her. She's generic, she's replaceable, but that is the kind of thing that can attract a reader to the story. I know it sounds like the wrong thing to do to have a very bland main character, but with a character like that, you can place yourself in her shoes and you can explore this new world and be the receiver of pleasure and luxury that Christian Grey has to offer. Her choices are not that extreme, her knowledge of this world is very limited, which makes you feel very related to her, which makes you feel like you are her. Suddenly you are the love interest of Christian, you are the one he adores and wants. In too many ways, she is very much like Bella from Twilight, which is not a surprise if you know that 50 Shades started as an erotic fanfiction of Twilight. If you recall from Twilight, and don't act like you didn't read it, Bella had that sort of mysterious factor that Edward and Jacob just loved about her and made her so desirable. But she was just a pale kid from Arizona who had nothing much to say. She was quite the introvert, however, everybody just found her amazing. Sure, later on you find out that Edward is intoxicated by the scent of her blood, and Jacob kinda loves her because she's going to be the mother of the love of his life. It gets really weird. But again, because she doesn't have that many choices to make and she's just this lovable character by these other male leads, you get to experience this world of werewolves and vampires and adventures through her. So you feel like you are in the story, not because the character is so great, but because there's not much to her and you can easily replace her. My third and final reason why I think 50 Shades has been so successful is because ultimately it tells a tale that is as old as time. Yes, I said that. The main structure and duality of 50 Shades is nothing new to us and definitely nothing new to storytelling. The entire concept of light and dark and opposites is something that attracts us as readers and as viewers. You have Christian, who is brooding and dark and he has suffered through life, and then you have Anastasia, who's virginal and sweet and just full of love and light. She eventually fixes him and we get to see her walk through the darkness and the adventures and all the exciting things that entails. The general concept is not new to us and we always always fall for it, and it's not a bad thing, it's just a very fundamental subject in a story. It's the reason why Beauty and the Beast is such a wonderful story. It's the reason why Phantom of the Opera is so fascinating. And yes, I'm gonna have to include Twilight in this because they do basically the same thing. Opposites attract, and the merging of both is something that we innately find interesting and wonderful to experience. So now you know it, folks. You mix a dash of spice with the familiar, make your female lead as bland and as generic as possible so other girls can place themselves in her shoes, cash in with an old but classic tale, add about 20 different dances that your inner goddess does when she's being touched or looked at or kissed by Christian, and then bam, you have got yourself a bestseller. I'm not happy about it at all, but that's exactly how it went down. So guys, tell me, are you a fan of 50 Shades? What do you think of it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It's always very appreciated. And if you like these types of videos where I talk about love and films and everything about it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of February. In the meantime, I hope you have fun. If you go see 50 Shades, let me know what you think of it. And I will see you on our next movie date. Have fun, and don't forget your safe word.